Right, time for another video. So I released that video, just chatting to my kids and like how long term I think about a lot of stuff, and I got quite a lot of really great feedback. A lot of people thought it was really funny. A lot of people thought it was quite cute. A lot of people, it got them thinking about like how long term life is, and then it got me thinking that other people didn't think about it. That I got messages like people being like, "Oh my word, Luke! Like, why are you thinking about that kind of thing? Why are you? Why is that like what's going on in your head?" And I was like, "How is it not?" Like, and then I had a couple of conversations at work, and just a whole lot of people, and then they were just like, I just got this sense of like long-term thinking isn't like a common thing, and I was just trying to figure out why. Like, it's I think a lot about long-term things, and I think a lot of people think maybe I overthink about it, but it seems like the most practical thing to do. Like, the only thing you should be thinking about is what's going to happen in the future and how you get there and how you want to get there, and it's the only practical way to spend your time thinking about stuff, because the one thing you can't control is what happened yesterday. The only thing you can control is what you do today that affects tomorrow. And I think that's such it's like an underrated thing. Like, and I also found this really funny. My older friends found it much more useful than my younger friends, which then just breeds the fact that context matters. Is that as you get older and as you realize time exists into the future, that what we do right now directly affects our tomorrow. Like the idea of, I'm not going to drink tonight because I don't want to feel bad tomorrow. The idea of, I'm going to do this task now so that in a week from now it's done, kind of thing. This like longevity and the forward thinking, and 15 years from now, what business do I want to build? What skills do I need to have right now so that in 25 years I'm the businessman, or I'm the entrepreneur, or I'm the leader that I want to be then? And isn't it the most practical to think about it right now instead of having to do it then? Because another big thing I'm realizing is that the massive goals I have, there's tasks I didn't even think that I needed to know. Like bookkeeping. Like, here I am hoping to build a fantastic business one day, and I realize I know nothing about bookkeeping. I don't even know the laws around bookkeeping. I don't even know how difficult it is to employ people. So these massive goals in the future need to be broken up into small steps, otherwise you're never going to get there. And I find it fascinating that people don't necessarily think about it as much as they should, or as much as I think it probably is required. Sorry for the cars, I feel like I picked quite a busy road. Anyway, I've committed. So I think about that like all the time, about what is happening tomorrow, and not even tomorrow, but like 6 months. And I'm fascinated by people who don't. But I said something quite cool the other day that I wanted to think about. But just long-term thinking is the only practical way to prepare for life, you know? But also, again, rooted in practicality. Like, you know, it's got to make sense. And you can think about the future all you want, but it's about action and stuff like that. And it just seems better. Like, doesn't it seem better? And then also what it does is it provides context. That's what I wanted to say, is that context is one of the biggest things. Like, I've been trying to figure out, why are older people more mature? Or why are older people in different positions? Why do they feel different about topics and things like that? And it's kind of been playing with my head, and the reason is we have context. Is that after 2 years of doing something, I have more context on how the world works than prior to that, because I'll have experiences that back that up. And I find that idea of looking at age and looking at growth and stuff like that so much more realistic, to understand what actually affects my opinion on life, what actually affects my opinion on work and stuff like that. It's the context in which I've seen it happen, and why I don't think it works, and why don't we listen to older people? Like, older people tell us, listen, that doesn't work, and we're like, no, like, of course it's gonna work, but we don't have the context in able to truly judge that kind of thing. And I find that really funny and really interesting, and something that I'm trying to eliminate that barrier. Because I'm like, imagine if we tomorrow can just start lowering our, like, young people, we can start lowering our barrier of judgment to kind of see into what are they trying to explain to us? What do older people mean? Like, the warnings we get, like, what are they actually trying to explain to us? You know? And then we can take that on, and obviously you can decide whether it works or not, but it can just give you more context to problems that you can't necessarily see right now, but it could stop you from necessarily making a mistake. And I think that's the frustration that older people have trying to explain that to young people, because young people don't listen. And the frustration of young people to old people is we don't have the context to see it. It's like glasses, like time gives you like glasses to look at. Because the reality is that at 18, you're as mentally capable as you're ever going to be in your life. Obviously, there's that thing of like men only mature at 24, whatever, separate thing. But my point is that the mental capacity is that I feel like I'm the same person I was at 17. My context is different. I just know that how I need to remind myself that I have an 11 o'clock tomorrow, then a 5 o'clock, then a 7 o'clock. I know how to remind myself to do that. And those skills you learn over time. But I think there's an argument to be made to speed up the process if you're self-aware and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think long-term thought and just understanding that the future is the only thing you can bet on changing, but it's the only thing that you can bet on that's going to come. The future is going to come exactly the same tomorrow as it will from tomorrow to the next day. Is that the sun's going to rise and then it's going to set after that. And there's always going to be another minute and the bar, the world ending and instant death, which the variables you can't quantify, so don't even spend time thinking about that, is that you will be alive in 10 years from now. And what do you need to do in those 10 years? Sorry, this lighting, I do apologize, but I'm a terrible YouTuber. Anyway, but what do you do right now so that you can better make that happen? Is something that we need to start thinking about. And the sooner you do it, the better, because that's less time that you've wasted, kind of thing. You know, and probably there's an argument made that there's a whole bunch of people that are older now that are like, damn it, like I wish I started thinking about this now. But that's what like I'm trying to like tell people. It's like, think about it now. Like, listen, the amount of work you have to do as a 20-year-old to prepare for 30 is quite minimal. But at least you're getting the ball rolling, and so it means by the time you're 24, things are moving in your direction. But yeah, that's my thought on long-term thought and why you should do it and why context is like everything. But cool. Sorry for the bad lighting. I think you should just probably put these things down and just listen to me talk instead of watching it anyway. So yeah, cool. Have a good day, week, your life, and I'll see you in the future. Cheers.